Coach Washington, Mookie Hawkins, Waffle Sports 1080. How you doing today, sir?
Doing great. How are you?
I'm fantastic, man. Hey, let's talk about it. 9 sacks, 5 turnovers as a defensive unit. I mean, how excited were you? Especially for the way that your guys played up front. I know Von Miller talked about this team has to be very disciplined mentally and spiritually. It looked like they went out there and played that way. Your thoughts, Coach?
Very excited to win, first of all, and I thought the defensive line played outstanding. They attacked the line of scrimmage and just created and generated a lot of pressure. Obviously, our secondary forced the quarterback to hesitate a little bit in terms of holding on to the ball. And anytime you can take the ball away and give it back to a Josh Allen-led offense, that's only going to help you. So just overall, very pleased. This wasn't perfect. There's some things that we're looking at that we want to continue to grow, areas we want to continue to grow, but just overall, really excited to win.
Absolutely, Coach. You said it before the season started that you had high expectations on AJ Espinosa and Greg Rousseau. Just care to talk about, those two guys' performance.
Sure. AJ did a great job. Obviously, he had the big splash play, the interception, and that was a function of his execution. And he was in where he needed to be and understood that once the quarterback broke the pocket, he needed to remain disciplined. And AJ is just a tough out in terms of trying to loft the ball over him. We saw that last week in the Raiders game. I mean, it's tough to throw over a guy that's 6'6", and he did a great job timing his jump, corralling the football, and then just finding the end zone. Otherwise, he did a great job setting the edge, was able to execute a nice counter rush move to get the sack late in the fourth quarter. And then Greg just continues to come off the ball, collapse the pocket as an inside rusher and an outside rusher, getting his hands up. Doing a good job of establishing the edge of our defense, also just being active and just being, helping our four-man rush.
One more, Coach. How does this defense continue to work on being consistent and with having that aggressive approach?
Well, just after the debriefing, the review meetings, we just get back to work. And we maintain an attitude of, first of all, gratitude, but also just have tremendous humility and know that we have to start over essentially and get ready for the next opponent. And that's just kind of how we have to do it and just be true to our identity and what we want to continue to be about from a growth standpoint.
Thank you for your time, Coach.
You're welcome.
Hey, Eric, when you guys have a game like you did yesterday, outside the result, I don't want to say like a favorite moment, but are there like moments or splash plays that kind of stand out to you the most of like, oh, this is really showcased our defense's identity or something like that? Like, what will you most remember from it?
Well, obviously, scoring on defense is something that you'd like to be in a position to do. You have to get your hands on the ball. You have to be in the right place. You have to be violent at the point of attack, whether if it's a run play. But if you can score on defense, that's a pretty significant accomplishment. And it says a lot about just the mentality of everyone on the field. But at the end of the day, you want to win. And sometimes that the way that looks is different from one week to the next. And you want to be in a position to complement the other two phases. And the guys did that.
And then looking forward to the Dolphins, they're doing some things Sean called revolutionary, but just very creative in how they're using different guys, what they're doing. What's it like for you coaching both, veteran guys who have seen a lot, but maybe haven't necessarily seen this, but then also younger guys who are still, maybe just a couple years in and haven't seen this for sure?
Well, we'll draw on the experiences of the veteran players. And I know that all of the players will count on the coaching staff, filtering the opponent every week and presenting, who they are and how we plan to address them. So we'll count on our veteran players, their experience, and we'll also count on the younger players really being in tune and doing a lot of work on their own in addition to the research and the study that we will do as a coaching staff.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Hey, Eric, it's Jay with the Buffalo News. Thanks for doing this. Can you believe that Leonard Floyd was a free agent as long as he was, and how thankful are you that's the case?
Yeah, I'm really excited that Leonard's here, and I appreciate the fact that he's here, and more than that, I appreciate the type of person that I've gotten to know. Leonard is very humble. He's a hardworking person, very extremely professional, and he is really emerged into the just the environment here at the Buffalo Bills. And so I'm just excited that he's here and thankful that he's turned out to be the kind of pro that he is.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi, Eric. John Worrell. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Great. Sorry about that. I guess the bad news is you're facing an opponent that just put up 70. The good news is no team's ever put up 70 in back-to-back weeks, right?
I'm not aware of that part of the history, but we'll always respect the opponent, and we'll prepare ourselves. And we know that whatever happened last week, we've got to be prepared for this week, and that's our approach. And we'll be ready to go when we need to.
And I guess the safety blanket that you have with the secondary and having Micah Tre'Davious and Jordan and really, Benford but those three guys in particular, how much of that is a safety blanket in having those guys together where you didn't have them a year ago in going into a game like this?
Well, it's the way Christian is playing. Obviously, Jordan and Micah, these are two foundational parts of our defensive system, and to have them in the secondary is even more of a benefit for us on defense. But we'll definitely depend on that. Jordan and Micah are tremendous in communicating. They're tremendous in being able to anticipate how we need to adjust our secondary when the parts start moving pre-snap and we're facing a team that motions a lot before the ball is snapped. So we'll depend on that level of communication, detail, and adjustments. And Christian will do a great job of seeing some of those things himself and responding to the way that Jordan and Micah kind of inform him through their communication.
And really that is it, is like to have the veteran presence, and I'm including Trey White in there, to have the veteran presence, to not be, I guess, maybe not fooled, but maybe distracted by some of the pre-snap movement and all the other stuff that goes on with a team like this, to stay focused on their keys. I guess how important is that in a game like this and facing an offense like this?
It's really important, because once the ball is snapped, once the play actually starts, everyone has to be in tune with what their assignment consists of, and how to execute that, where they're supposed to be, where their eyes are, and just the details of their job description as far as the call is concerned. So you have to do a great job just being extremely disciplined, not forgetting, what we're trying to present, and being aware of how we need to adjust, maybe multiple times before the ball is snapped and the play is actually presented to us. So we have to be extremely disciplined, not let those things distract us, and just at the end of the day, go play ball once everything kind of declares itself.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good afternoon, Coach. George Radney, Challenger Community News. How you doing this afternoon, Coach Washington?
Doing great. Thank you.
Great. Leonard Floyd made a comment that I hadn't heard before in a while. He mentioned that because of the rotation, when he was on the sidelines, he noticed the guy, Andrew Wiley, who he was going up against, he started concentrating on his footwork to see what he was doing, and he made his own adjustments. And then, man, he was going around him like he was in cement after a while there. He started figuring out what he was doing. Is that something just from veterans' experience? Guys can make adjustments while they're on the sidelines, looking at their opponents because of the rotation that the Bills have?
Without question. Sometimes when a player rotates out of the game, it gives him a chance to kind of collect himself and to review what his play experiences have been, and to also continue to monitor what's going on the field in real time. And, our guys are very proactive. thinkers, and they are constantly reviewing what's happening. They're giving that information to each other, and they're also anticipating what we could see in terms of how the opponent is adjusting to us, or the adjustments that we need to make. So, no, that's just that doesn't surprise me with Leonard, and that's something. The communication on the sideline is unreal. The kind of stuff that's being talked about, and the things that we talk about in between series, and obviously we're utilizing the rotation to our benefit in that way.
Okay, last but not least, the disguising the coverage. But the Bills seem to have one of the best disguises of cover. Every team that go into opposing locker room, they always bring up, man, they're tough to read. They disguise their coverages very well. How does that come about?
Well, it's just something that we obviously we want to not give quarterbacks, offensive coordinators, play callers, or even the offense in general information. We want to get information, but not necessarily give it. So we want to make sure that we do a great job of maintaining a certain specific shell, and just not allowing a team to identify what we're doing before the ball is snapped. And that's something that we really work on, and it's been a tremendous benefit for us.
All right, thank you, Coach, and good luck against this Miami Dolphin team. Come squish the fish this coming week. Thank you for your time.
You're welcome. Thank you.